Hi, Adam. Hi, Jesus. Do you talk a story today? Today, Adam, you and the kid watching are going to try and guess the story. Do you recognize this scene? Do you know which story this is? Awesome. Now, let's listen to the whole story together.
Long, long ago, in the rolling hills of Israel, two mighty armies gathered at opposite sides of a wide valley. Tents flapped in the wind, shields shimmered in the sun, and everyone held their breath, waiting to see who would strike first. The Philistines marched forward with their greatest weapon, Goliath, a gigantic warrior taller than two grown men. His bronze armor clanged like thunder, and the tip of his spear was as heavy as a bowling ball. Every morning, Goliath stomped into the valley and roared, "Choose a champion to fight me!" His voice boomed off the rocks like a lion's roar, shaking even the bravest Israelite knees. For 40 long days, no one stepped forward. Soldiers peeked from behind shields.
Hey, it's me, Leo. I'm the one who tells all these amazing Bible stories just for you. And guess what? You can read them too. In a real book you can hold, flip, and even smell. It's like carrying a little piece of the adventure with you. You can get the ebook as a coloring version to print at home for a small symbolic price, or order the printed one straight to your house through Kindle. Dear parents, this is a volunteer project made with love, designed to help children learn God's Word, foster a love for reading, and support our ongoing mission. It's super easy. Just check the link in the description and read along with me. Now that you know, let's continue with the story.
Every morning, Goliath stomped into the valley and roared, "Choose a champion to fight me!" His voice boomed off the rocks like a lion's roar, shaking even the bravest Israelite knees. For 40 long days, no one stepped forward. Soldiers peeked from behind shields. Meanwhile, in the quiet town of Bethlehem, young David watched over his father's fluffy sheep. He played gentle songs on his harp, and the sheep gathered around, calm and safe. David loved God with all his heart, and believed that God watched over him, whether he was chasing lions or hugging lambs. Faith made him brave, even when the pasture felt lonely. One crisp morning, David's father Jesse called, "Take bread and cheese to your brothers at the battlefield, and bring back news." David packed the food, kissed his mother goodbye, and hurried down the dusty road. Arriving at the camp, David heard Goliath's shout rumble across the valley. He saw worried faces, trembling hands, and armor lying unused on the ground. David blinked in surprise. "Why is everyone afraid? The Lord is on our side," he asked. The soldiers only shrugged and stared at the tall, dark shape of the giant. One soldier whispered, "The king will reward any man who defeats Goliath." But none of us dare. David's eyes sparkled with determination like morning dew in sunlight. "I will fight him," David announced. Chuckles and gasps rippled through the camp. To them, David looked no bigger than Goliath's boot. Soon David stood before King Saul. The king's golden crown glinted as he frowned. "You are only a boy," Saul said gently. "Goliath has been a warrior since his youth." David lifted his chin. "When a lion or a bear took one of my lambs, I chased it down. The Lord rescued me every time. He will rescue me now." signified David's courage. Saul draped his own armor over the boy's shoulders. The helmet slipped over David's eyes, and the sword dragged along the floor. David laughed, shook off the heavy armor, and handed it back. "I cannot fight in these," he said. "I'll use what I know." He grasped his trusty sling and walked toward a bubbling brook. From the cool water, David selected 5 smooth stones, each one small enough to fit snugly in his palm. He tucked them into his shepherd's pouch and whispered a prayer. As David stepped into the valley, the sun blazed overhead, and every Israelite held their breath. A hush fell across both armies. Even the birds seemed to pause mid-face song. Goliath squinted, then roared with laughter. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" he mocked, pounding his chest so hard that dust flew from his armor. David called back, his voice clear and steady. "You come with a sword, spear, and javelin, but I come in the name of the Lord Almighty, whom you have challenged." Reaching into his pouch, David placed one stone in his sling. He swung the sling faster and faster above his head until it hummed like a bee. With a swift flick of his wrist, David released the sling. The stone shot forward, straight as an arrow, whistling through the hot air toward the giant. Thunk! The stone struck Goliath right between the eyes. The giant stumbled, eyes wide with surprise, then crashed to the ground like a falling oak tree. Silence hung for a heartbeat, and then cheers erupted from the Israelite camp. The Philistines turned pale, dropped their weapons, and ran for the hills. King Saul and the soldiers lifted David onto their shoulders, praising God for the victory. David's heart overflowed with gratitude, knowing the battle belonged to the Lord. And so, the story of David reminds children everywhere. Even the smallest person, filled with faith and courage, can stand tall, face giants, and do great things.
Wow. Amazing story, my child. Every story you hear brings you closer to the truth. Keep listening, keep growing, and always walk in faith. New journeys are coming soon. Ask your parents to join you. I'll be waiting for you in the next story.